Welcome, my friends. Welcome to the Esteban Hours Week in Review. Good morning and happy Monday to you all. I hope everybody has had a great weekend and will have a great week. Uh, we're coming to you from the great state of Hawaii today. So just wanted to share that with you. And we have a great lineup for you with a lot of topics. Now, as you know, this is the Week in Review where politics and reality TV are ripped apart by our opinionated talk. And you will have that today. All right. What are our topics? What is on the line for today? Well, Georgia GOP is trying to remove Willis, the district attorney, who is overseeing the uh, 18 co-defendants plus Trump and all of their charges. They're trying to get her removed. We're going to find out how, why, and what does the governor of Georgia have to say about this. Then we have Miss Kim Guilfoyle, whatever her name is. She is on the Weekend Review today. This is her right here. Well, she apparently appears to be acting a little bit strange lately. We're going to dig into that and find out, why. Where does it come from? Although some may already think she's been acting strange, and she is strange. So maybe it's not a big topic, but who knows? Then we got DeSantis again in the news media. This time he was booed. Yes, he was booed in Jacksonville, Florida, when he came to represent the state of Florida. We're going to look at that video and see how loud was he really booed, or should he have been booed louder? I think he should have was. Then Eminem is in the news cycle, and not Eminem, Eminem. He has sent one of the GOP candidates a cease and desist notice, telling him to stop playing his song. We're gonna see what is this Vivek guy actually doing? What is he playing? It's hilarious when you see it. Then we also got the Pope, who's in the news cycle this week. The Pope has something to say to all MAGA Catholics. It's great to hear, but it might be a little bit too late. I don't know. Too little, too late. We'll talk about that. Then we have Mark Meadows, who is trying to get his criminal case changed from the state over to federal. Can he do that? Can he really do that? We'll find out why. And we'll get an update on what's going on in that situation. Then, along with that criminal case, one of the co-defendants, Mr. Harrison Floyd, he recently was the only one out of the 19 who was not able to post bail. Yeah, go figure. He wasn't able to post bail, and none of his comrades helped him with that either. Anyway, he spent 6 days locked up and finally was released. We're going to talk about that. And also some new facts that has come out since then. And not lastly, but Britney Spears is also on our hot topics today. She's getting a divorce. Are you shocked? Let's see. And lastly, we're going to give you a Hawaii update. Yes, I am here in Hawaii, and we're going to update you on what's going on, exactly how did this wildfire start, and what President Biden is doing to get through it with the wonderful people here on the island of Hawaii. Okay, before we get into that, let's bring in our panelists, co-host of the Esteban Hours Week in Review and Sound Offs, author and activist Jeremy Baker.
What's up?
Hey, Jeremy. Then we have Mike Folino. He is the content creator and co-producer of the Esteban Hours Week in Review and Sound Offs.
Hello.
We have Ty, who is from the owner of Increase Your Presence Publicists Company, one of our newest commentators, and we welcome him back to the show. Hey, Ty.
Good morning. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How was everybody's weekend?
Not bad.
Yeah, you know me. Today's a holiday, isn't it? Is today Labor Day?
It is. Thank you for reminding me. Happy Labor Day, everybody. I'm so in Hawaii. I forgot
I
all
totally
about
forgot.
little people back over there.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah, every day's the same. I just now it makes sense why everybody was closed today.
Right?
Uh,
Thanks and all. I hope y'all don't need any money. All right.
right.
All right. So as you can see, well, first of all, definitely happy Labor Day to everybody. So I hope that everyone is out and about in the sun. I hope it's great weather, not too hot, not too cold, and everyone is starting their barbecues and getting their food on. Okay. All right. Let's get it started with the hot topics. First, we have Georgia GOP. They want to remove District Attorney Fanni Willis from the Trump case. Is that possible? Is that actually possible for them to do?
Well, apparently they made a law that would allow them to actually do that. They can't do it on their own, but they would need the support of the governor. And do you want me to play this video real quick?
Let's do it. Let's play this clip.
Is not going to save Donald Trump in Georgia. However, knowing that, once this case was well underway and pretty clearly moving toward indictment, Georgia Republicans gave themselves a new power to make this case go away for Donald Trump if they decide to. Not a pardon power, but something in some ways better. A power to remove the prosecutor from her job. This is a new law signed in May by Republican Governor Brian Kemp. They moved up the start date of the law, so it actually goes into effect on October 1st this year. I have to say, with all due respect, all the press about this was totally credulous. Oh, they say this isn't about Fanni Willis, so it must not be. It isn't at all about Trump. They say it isn't. It's definitely just coincidence that Georgia Republicans are giving themselves this particular power right now for the first time in.
Thank you to Rachel Maddow and MSNBC for that video clip. Okay, so there's a lot of things to dive into in this. First of all, why do Republicans continue to change laws just to benefit them so they can get things done the way that they want, which they're doing because they know their constituents don't want it? Who'd like to take that?
Go ahead, anybody.
I'll jump right in.
Ty, take it away.
Yeah, I'll jump right in. I mean, this is not something that's new. We've seen Republicans over the years do this on several occasions, and I think it's ultimately, an effort, last ditch effort to save Donald Trump, and because they know that the guy is crooked and they know that he's guilty, so. I think they're just pulling straws now and trying to do everything they can to try to get him off. I don't think they're going to be able to do it because, like he said, they need, it's not something they can do by themselves. And right now, Georgia has, the Democratic support there right now to stop them from doing it. So I don't think it's something that's going to be done. I think,
but they've already passed the law. They passed it back in May. And Governor Kemp actually signed that law.
Right. They passed the law, but they still need a body to, from what I understood, they still need a body to, or a majority vote to do it. And they don't have the majority there in Georgia to do it. So they would have to flip some people or, in order to get it done. And that's probably not going to happen.
Go ahead, Mike.
I think what's interesting about it is that, Governor Kemp helped sign the law, get the law passed, but he's actually the most outspoken that they're not going to employ that law to interrupt this trial. He has been pretty vocal, pretty adamant that he does not see a reason to enact this law to remove Fanni Willis, that he has said in his own words that she is following standard practices. There's nothing out of line here. It's just interesting that it's another example of the GOP trying to remove elected officials, and that all hinges on a governor that's going to follow through with their will. You see it in Florida with Ron DeSantis removing district attorneys left and right that are elected officials, that he's coming up with an excuse. I don't like what they're doing. They're not prosecuting crimes enough. No, they're not prosecuting who you want them to prosecute. And for some reason, even though in Georgia, Brian Kemp signed this law, it doesn't seem too quick to want to enact it in this regard. So that's a good thing.
That's true. So since Mike just brought up Governor Kemp, let's play this video in regards to his response.
Perfect.
I have not seen any evidence that DA Willis's actions or lack thereof warrant action by the Prosecuting Attorney Oversight Commission. But that will ultimately be a decision that the commission will make. Regardless, in my mind, a special session of the General Assembly to end run around this law is not feasible and may ultimately prove to be unconstitutional. The bottom line is that in the state of Georgia, as long as I'm governor, we're going to follow the law and the Constitution, regardless of who it helps or harms politically.
So I want to just quickly put it out there, and then we can get everyone's opinion on this. Kudos to Governor Kemp and to the Republican Party in Georgia, who is following his lead. Okay, he wants to follow the rules of law and order, and it looks like that's exactly what he did. He understands that by trying to get rid of District Attorney Willis, that would be political, because she's not doing anything illegal or criminal by holding accountable and responsible all those who are involved, allegedly involved, because everyone is innocent until proven guilty. But he is allowing her to allow the process of the law to take its place, instead of just canning her, which, like Mike said, is what Florida Governor DeSantis has done, which I'm still waiting for lawsuits to come out for them to announce that they're going to be suing his ass for that, because they are two elected officials. Just like this DA, Fanni Willis, is. She was duly elected by her constituents in her county, in Fulton County, in the state of Georgia. So I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you. Those are the Republicans that we like, right? That we can compromise and have a bipartisanship with. Okay.
I mean,
even though we may not see eye to eye. Unfortunately, other fellow Republicans will view him as a rhino, which is ridiculous. But go ahead, guys.
I mean, they had this planned out, obviously, because they didn't just come up with this law. I mean, the law it's going into effect in October, but it was written and signed months ago, before even Trump was indicted. So they knew the whole time this ass was getting indicted, and they were trying to figure out ways to stop it. Well, guess what? You failed again. They're not going to stop it. Trump is he's going to get tried, and it's going to be live on YouTube, from what I hear, which is even better. So that's all I got to say about that topic.
Yeah, everybody needs to fill their cabinets with popcorn, don't they?
Oh, I'm going to be watching.
Yep.
And it also, we caught the Republicans in another lie, didn't we? Because when this bill was first introduced, didn't they say that, no, this has nothing to do with the Fanni Willis court cases, right? That this is general, this is separate, right? And then now, several months later, they are pressuring Governor Kemp to remove her as DA.
In the words of Governor Kemp, it's he call it political theater, and that's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
All for show.
Yep, that's all they have. They don't have any policy. They don't have any excuses. They just have really bad acting and really bad shows. They're just performing. That's it.
Yeah. And for me, the main point, again, is what I mentioned earlier. When things are not going the Republicans' way, because that they know that they have the majority, they just go and vote and change the rules and the laws. How is that constitutionally okay? I mean, it might be legal, but how is that okay when it comes to the people? We the people.
It's not. It's not. It's just like you said, it's all posturing, it's all for show. I mean, they want so bad to just, they keep, like, everything we say, they just project and project and project. Oh, they're cheating on it. Oh, well, it means we're cheating on it. Oh, they're corrupt. Well, that actually means we're corrupt. You know what I mean? It's like every time they accuse somebody of doing something, it's almost like they're admitting they did it already.
Right. And in fact, it comes to mind as well. In Florida, wasn't governor, according to the Florida law or constitution, you could not be in a sitting position and run for presidency. But they as well changed that law right away, just so that he was able to run right now.
Yep.
I'm not understanding how that's kosher. You know, it might be legal, but how is that kosher? Where's the credibility in that to your own constituents?
I don't think they care about credibility.
Yep, and I was going to say,
no, they're going to cheat their way into the White House is what they're going to try and do.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And that's what the theatrics is for, because remember, there is an election coming up, and they have to try to make this stuff look good to the public. So what they're doing with all of these, you know, antics is trying to make Trump, you know, make the public feel like he's innocent, and just in case we can pull something off where he gets off, we'll still have a go at this White House run. And that's
right. But they're trying to make it look good to the public, but it's not looking good to the public at all.
No.
Really not.
I think they've just gone beyond what they're capable of doing, and they don't know how to stop. This is their only plan, so they're just going to run it into the ground no matter what it looks like.
I mean, look at who they have talking for him. I mean, our next topic, Kim Guilfoyle. I mean, the picture you showed earlier, her was actually not that bad. You could see her eyes, but in the video that I have, you can't even see her eyes. They're completely just colored in. And she does not look well, and just
the Midas Touch Network has reported that something seems odd or something seems off with her lately. We've been making fun of the situation for a while and being sarcastic, but is there a point to this? Is there something to this story that something is going on? Let's play the clip.
Yeah, she looks so awkward in this video.
Guilfoyle here, getting ready to go live on my Rumble channel, Kimberly Guilfoyle Show, starting 4 p.m. Eastern. We have a fantastic panel today with former Treasury Department woman Monica Crowley and Congressman Wesley Hunt on the disasters that the Biden administration is leading this country through, and also about Trump. Should he debate? Where's the campaign going? What's the latest? Tune in.
Have the president of the United States, who as vice president was selling his position and personally enriching his family. And then you have this aspect of national security, him working with countries like the Communist Chinese Party, like Russia, who have no invested interest in really seeing the United States prosper.
It's a very important issue nationally to stop the Pentagon's abortion policy. And where does it stand today?
Well, Kimberly, I've been up here almost 3 years, and the animals are running the zoo. After President Trump left office, they haven't done anything that's actually gone through the Constitution. Everything is circumventing the Constitution.
What are they talking about?
The animals are running the zoo. Because I guess under Trump's tenure, there were no animals in the White House.
No, I think the animals escaped the zoo. We're seeing it.
Yeah.
But I mean, she just, that whole family just is.
Did anybody watch
that
video? Did anybody other than me think the Addams family?
Yes.
Oh my God. Extreme Morticia vibes. Wow.
Morticia on amphetamines is what it is.
Jeremy and I were talking about this a couple of days ago when we first said we were going to make this part of the show. And I said to him that every time I see her picture, the word Elvira constantly flashes in my head. Elvira. Now,
that's an insult to Elvira.
Well, I was just about to say, does she think that's a good look for her?
She must.
I don't.
This is
Let's see if I can find it.
Ty.
So I was reading that they were saying that Ivanka Trump doesn't like her, you know, because with her son and whatever, because she feels like that she's just using him basically to get to power. And,
That's what they all do.
You know, I was like, you know, that's from one, you know, she was a swimsuit model, Ivanka. You know, we know that she, you know, took her clothes off at some point for money. So, you know, you think that maybe she's feeling like, you know, this is how I got here, so this is how she's trying to get here, and that's like it kind of hit home for her.
Again, when they mention something, beware, because if they know so much about it, it's because they've done it before.
Yep.
Okay. Right. Donald Jr. was just did a video, a recording recently, upset that people are using his father's face and the mugshot for them to make money, and he's upset that they're not getting any part of that money. And he actually had the nerve to tape a video saying that. And I'm like, what is this dude talking about? Isn't that the same thing where you go and campaign and grift for money that you don't use for the campaign? Because that's what he said. He said, how could these people go out there and make money off of my father? And it doesn't even go to help his campaign or anything about him. Are you freaking kidding me?
I didn't hear that one. That's insane.
Yes.
That's insane. They're just mad that somebody else is making money off of Trump.
This is all an amazingly horrifying example of what the Trump family, like as soon as you bond to it, there's some sort of chemical reaction that just eats away at your very being and turns you into a monster. All right. Kimberly Guilfoyle was married to Gavin Newsom, who is one of the darlings in the Democratic Party, governor of California. Like him or hate him, I don't care. We're not talking about that. But at some point, if you look at videos or pictures when they were together, I got to tell you, maybe being with someone who respects women and encourages women to be their best selves, and then moving to someone who wants you to be a, you know, subordinate little creature that does what you're told and simps for the party and the family, that might have a toll, because she is looking terrible. And I don't mean that as an insult to a woman. I mean, she literally looks like something happened to her. And I don't know what it is, but it's the Trumpism or the MAGA-ness. I don't know what it is.
The talk around the streets is that she has started to participate in drug addiction along with Donald Trump Jr. That perhaps now together they are having some nice parties.
Oh, I have no doubt. And Eric's waiting at the outside at the locked door, and he's like, "Can I come in yet, guys? You said I could come hang out."
Yeah, they're like, nah, we were just kidding.
Yeah, just go get us pizza and come back. You can come in when you get the pizza.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
And
well,
that's funny.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ty.
I wanted to say too that, you know, her whole plan, if that is her goal to you know, kind of weasel her way into the family to get power, it's failing. You know, here recently, the whole rant that she went on, you know, about the television network and them not allowing her and Donald Jr. into the debate. You know, that whole rant, you know, it was this is my way, this is my power, this is what I got, you know, and it proved that she didn't have that power and she don't have it. So her whole plan is failing, because what do we need you for if you can't get my son into the debate? That's what we needed you for. And now you don't have that power. We don't need you. So that may be part of it too. She see her plan unfolding in front of her, and it's like, you know, I don't know what's next, you know, because how long do they keep her as part of the family if she doesn't have that power?
Right, she doesn't serve a purpose. They don't, you know what I mean? That's how the Trump family is. If you serve, you have to serve a purpose, or they just discard you.
Value added.
Like Giuliani, he doesn't serve a purpose anymore, and we see what's happening to him.
Could that be a reason why John Jr. and his first wife didn't make it, because she perhaps didn't serve a purpose anymore, or maybe didn't want to be part of the shenanigans and the lies and the BS that was going on?
I hope that is the case. I hope she bailed when she saw what the heck was happening and what kind of cesspool they were diving towards with glee.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. All right. DeSantis getting booed.
I love this one.
Booed. Boo! Let's all say it together.
Boo! You suck.
Play this clip.
Pardon. Ron DeSantis is here. We're going to ask the governor if he will come down and bring remarks. Thank you for doing this. I want to just say to the councilwoman,
a bullet don't know a party, so don't get me started.
Yeah. So we he was booed. He was booed. You can hear him. It was loud and clear that he was booed. Obviously, he's not really liked in Jacksonville. Who can blame him? You look at all those black people that were around him. And we all know the animosity that's being distributed in Florida in regards to DeSantis, because he is the person that has decided that Black history is no longer should be taught in a Florida state education curriculum. He's also the one that said they would start banning certain books in Florida, and most of those books that have been banned seemed to be, African American books, books written by independents or Democrats. But it doesn't seem like many books have been banned by Republicans themselves or Caucasian authors themselves. So he was. Go ahead, Jeremy.
I was gonna say they keep banning all these books, like they banned The Life of Rosa Parks, and they ban these books for being inappropriate. Yet they're okay with having the Bible around in schools and stuff like that. Like they're okay with that, and that's not inappropriate. Which that book should be rated NC-17 for crying out loud.
Horse emissions.
I don't understand. Yeah, I mean they want, like I said before, we've always said they want their population to be subjugated. They want them to be dumb, and they want them to not question authority. That's what Ron DeSantis wants in Florida.
What scares me is how easily a person, I'm not going to call him a man, but I have to accept that he's a person, but I'll call him a person, that some individual could actually stop in a place like this, which was a small community event, like you said, Esteban, surrounded by a certain demographic, meant to feel a collective outrage and suffering, as a certain community tends to, especially in Florida. But do you think this incident, after he leaves and does his little appearance where he edits out the boos and uses it as his campaign little stump speech, is he going to include that in the textbooks, that these 3 people were shot because they were black? Because it's not like we're speculating. That was the known cause, okay? A Nazi painted Nazi symbols on his gun and then went to kill black people. So that doesn't fit in Ron DeSantis' history books the way he sees that he thinks it should be taught. So he's going there to mooch off this incident amongst the black community that he's shitting on, okay, and disrespecting with the other hand. Here, let me be your hero with one hand and vote for me, but we're not going to tell your story and screw you with the other hand.
Right. What a great point. Thank you, Mike. Excellent point. So true. Absolutely so true. Which is why he got all of those boos. Because it's basically them saying to him, you got a lot of nerve. You don't want to teach anyone, the next generation as to what happened 200 years ago, but you want us to listen to you as to what you're going to do for us right now. We don't care what you got for us. However, somebody did care. Let's play this clip. Councilwoman, what was her name, Mike?
Jacoby Pittman.
Councilwoman Pittman of Jacksonville.
Okay, Jacoby is nice, but Ann is not. Now, if the governor wanted to come here and he bringing gifts to my community, y'all know I'm taking the gifts, because we've been through enough already, and I don't want to go through no more. Now, y'all just be quiet just a minute and let the governor say what he gonna say, and we gonna get this party started.
All right. So
She
first
knew.
I
If it
got
wasn't for that woman,
I think
Ron
that's-
DeSantis may have gotten his ass whooped at that event.
first.
She may be the
I want to
reason
say
he is not in the
that
hospital right now.
I don't know this woman. I know her now, but I love her because what she said is the
Respect.
truth.
Yep.
Yes, absolute
Mad
respect
respect.
for what she said. Basically, we don't like him. We ain't voting for him. But whatever you got, give it to me.
Hell yeah.
Yep, and expect messages from us because we want you on our show. Just so you know, we're gonna give you a little shout out right now.
We'll give her the shout out, Miss Councilwoman. You have an invite on this show to be a guest at any time. We'd like you to come and bring that speech over here. We will broadcast it nice and loud. Let's get the party started.
Gives me chills just thinking about it. Man. I would love to have her on here.
And I love the way everyone respected her because, for one, you know, it was funny because if you watch that video over again, everyone like was clapping that was standing behind him, you know, which was probably a group of ministers and those type people, you know, from the community or whatever, because, you know, they go out and get community leaders to stand behind these guys when they come to your hometown. And they were clapping, but as soon as the public started booing, all of them stopped immediately, like, oh, we don't like this, you know. So they didn't want to, you know, rile up their community as well, for one. But then when she started talking, immediately all the booing stopped, and that level of respect was awesome. That shows that she's out there active in her community because they knew her and they knew that she meant business right away. You know, it reminds me of the grandma. You know, she just you know, she halted everything right there.
Yes. All right. Okay. Moving on. Eminem is in the news cycle this week, but not for his artistry and his beautiful music, in my opinion, because I love Eminem as an artist. Great white boy. Great white boy.
Represent.
He's actually a great lyricist. He is. He's
Yes,
really great lyricist.
one of the greatest rappers of our generation, in my opinion. So recently, he requested that the GOP candidate Vivek, whatever his last name is, stop using his song that he horribly raps to. Do we have that clip?
Yes, we do. This is god awful too.
Sent Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy a cease and desist to make him stop using the rapper's music on the campaign trail. Now, I'm no legal expert, but I reckon it might have something to do with this performance at the Iowa State Fair.
Back to the lab and get your
Oh, dear.
Better go catch this
Oh.
moment and hope
Oh, no.
lose yourself in
Oh,
the
God.
music the moment you own it.
Eminem has since issued an 8-mile restraining order on that.
8-mile restraining order.
Right. I can
I
hear,
just love that clip when I found it.
I could see Eminem watching that thinking, after all this work I did to make black people think white people could rap. You know, because he had no rhythm.
Look,
with that. He had no rhythm.
There is one thing you don't do with Eminem, and everybody in the rap game knows this. You don't beef with Eminem. He will verbally destroy you. He could end Vivek Ramaswamy's entire campaign with one song.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on.
Eminem is better than a lot of other black rappers, in my opinion. Yes. He can
Well, he
spit
learned
it
from
out.
the masters too.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah,
Look
he
at
everybody
his
had
mentor.
impeachment.
Dr. Dre, Snoop, 50 Cent. Yes.
He pays
So-
homage to them.
Yeah,
That's what he's doing.
He's definitely one of the better lyricists that we heard in our generation and our time.
Absolutely.
And you know, and I give I give Eminem all kudos. I don't think 50 Cent had a whole lot to do with it. He kind of came to the camp after Eminem, but Dr. Dre, you know, he's a genius, you know. And so but Eminem had to have the talent and the you know, the mind capacity to do it, and he does have that. So kudos to him. And kudos for him for standing up for his music and I don't know if he don't agree with that guy's politics, But just the fact that he butchered that song should have been enough for anybody to say, we don't want to hear you sing Eminem again.
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene tried to pull the same stunt with Dr. Dre's music, walking out, trying to act like she was the boss, walking out to Dr. Dre's music. She effed around and found out. She a little FAFO.
It's a thing with them. I mean, if you're going to do something real small and use someone's music, fine. But like, who do these people think they are? They're taking music that they don't own. They're using it to try and further themselves. All right, no one cares what you do in the Ohio State Fair, but like, know the artist whose music you're borrowing, right? Like Eminem isn't necessarily someone going on all the TV shows and talking about his politics, but like we kind of all know what his politics probably are for the most part. Like read the room, guy. You as a Republican, a 2023 Republican who is openly denying every single fact on the planet and trying to help participate in removing rights from everyone. Do you think Eminem's really going to be like, that's cool? No. Right. Do you think Dr. Dre is going to be like, that's cool? Well, and forget just rap. There's plenty of old classic rock and roll guys that are telling all these Republicans, no, stop using my music. Stop it.
Well, here's the thing. Most hip hop artists, a lot of them come from nothing and making something just amazing out of themselves. You know what I mean? Literally turning their life around. They're not going to have some privileged white or anybody using their music to promote anything other. You know what I mean? They're not going to let you promote hate. They're not letting you promote racism. They're not going to promote homophobia. They're not going to do it because that's not what they're about. You know what I mean? They are about, most people, like, they give back to the communities. You know what I mean? They participate in the communities. A lot of them do. And yeah, I can't see somebody like Vivek Ramaswamy or Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're not going to let them drag that music into that realm. I mean, it's not going to happen.
And how I feel is, how dare they? These guys, they speak malicious of everybody, of every type of group. They put down everybody. They publicly, willingly show that they don't care about other people who are different than them, their feelings. But you got the nerve to go and use somebody who believes the complete opposite of you, use their music freely without their approval. That's ballsy. That's absolutely ballsy. They don't believe in what you stand for. You don't believe in what they stand for, but you want to use their music. No.
Right.
It shows oh, go ahead, Ty.
I was just gonna say, and not to mention the fact that you probably never bought my CD ever in your life.
Oh yeah.
Hello. Right, for real.
You didn't support me, but you're gonna use me to gain support. Come on. Like, no.
I mean, you're not a fan.
It's such a bizarre sense of lack of self-awareness. Like, yeah, okay, Vivek Ramaswamy is from India, so he's not like the white boy trying to steal the rap music, but the party you belong to, that you're trying to run on, is the white privilege party. Okay, they like to have their let's see, a few non-white representatives so that they could pretend they're not racist, right? They'll tell you that they're the Republican Party is the group that'll tell you they have a black friend, right? They're not racist, they have a black friend. But the party represents these horrible things. Pay attention. Like, who are you trying to fool? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't get it.
And we're not listening to what you're saying. We're not listening to what you're saying. And we damn sure don't want to hear you playing our music either.
Yeah, don't disrespect it.
Yeah. Okay. So the Pope is in the headlines this week as well. It looks like he's got some beef with his own constituents who happen to be MAGA supporters. Let's play this clip.
Popping off about Americans, with him saying, quote, the situation in the United States is not easy, and adding that conservative Catholics are very reactionary and backwards, and that the LGBTQ are welcome to the church and they must accept this. And he finished his remarks with, those American groups of which you speak, so closed, are isolating themselves, and saying instead of living by doctrine, by the true doctrine that always develops and bears fruit, they live by ideologies. But also, as long as I can remember, the American Catholic Church has been beefing with the Pope. Whether it's Northeastern Catholics, like I used to be, thinking the church isn't liberal enough, or Southern Catholics think the church isn't cruel enough. So I don't see this changing anytime soon, but follow to stay in the loop.
And real quick, before you go any further, Esteban, I have to share this picture that I found, and this was posted by Newsmax. I think you saw this already. Oh no, hold up, I'm in the wrong screen. This is probably one of the reasons why the Pope is a little bit upset. Let's go ahead now. Obviously, I added the laughing guy that looks like me. So, all right, I got it pulled up. Let me share my screen. Watch out for woke Jesus, the false Messiah destroying Christianity. False or woke Jesus.
Okay. That's what they think.
You gotta be kidding me. It's a news network that put this on there. So watch out for woke Jesus. He's bad.
If you're going to follow all of these teachings of this religion, then you got to believe one thing that they probably drilled into your skull when you were a child in Sunday school, is that all those things that you call woke now were what they were trying to teach you. I'm not a religious person. We could have that discussion another day on why not. But the point is, if the Pope is telling you that you are doing the religion wrong, you're doing the religion wrong.
Right.
Yes. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, a lot of pastors, I think we even maybe mentioned this briefly a week ago or so. A lot of congregations are telling their pastors and their priests, this Jesus guy, like that whole peace and love thing, that doesn't go anymore because these liberals are just trying to destroy our country. We got to kill them. I mean, that's what they're telling their priests when they're sitting there listening to a sermon about peace and love. But nope, the Pope tells you you're wrong. Screw the Pope.
Did you see a recent video of a pastor screaming and yelling on stage with a bat in his hand? And I think at the end of the bat, I think was Barbie.
He taped Bibles.
No, he taped the Bible to the back.
Multiple.
And then hit a Barbie house.
Yeah,
right.
That's the Christianity that they want in this country. MAGA believes in the fire and brimstone, judgment, death God. It's as straightforward as that.
I like, there was a tweet that went out that said, if your pastor is beating up Barbie doll houses with bats and a Bible, you should change your church.
You should change religions. Jesus.
See, this is why no, not necessarily religion, because I'm sure not every pastor of every Christian church or Catholic church is doing that.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that's why the Pope said what he said. He's tired of it. It's been years of hearing his own constituents change the teachings of the Bible and rerouting it to fit their narrative. No, the Bible says love thy neighbor, period. It does not say love only a white man, or love only a straight person, or love only a woman who did not have an abortion. That's not what the Bible says. And so I think the Pope has finally met his match, where he's sick and tired of the biblical distortions that many around the world, but especially here in the United States, are doing. And I think as the head of the Catholic Church, what he's trying to do is show other Catholic leaders under him that it's okay to speak out. Start speaking out and start talking to your congregations and telling them that this is not what Jesus taught. This is not what the Bible is saying, even though many of us already know that. We already know that a lot of these, those who profess to be Christians, are something else.
Yeah, this is not Christianity. I'm sorry. This is Christian nationalism is what we talk about, or even religious extremism. You know what I mean? That's why when I say change religion, I don't want anybody to get offended. I don't mean not be a Christian. I just mean not be a Christian nationalist, basically, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Which is its own religion now.
Yeah, Christian nationalism is literally its own
the
thing.
Republican Party is using Christian nationalism as its vehicle to have an emotional appeal to its voters, right? When the beauty is, and I say beauty because it is clever, they don't want the left to tell you how to be religious or how to participate in your religion. But they're doing it to their own people, right? They're not even telling people on the left, your religion's too nice. They're telling their own people, you got to be mean in your religion. You got to be spiteful and hateful. They're the ones using their own religion to distort the minds of their own voters. They're the ones doing it. It's more hypocrisy and nonsense from a group of people who care about nothing but power and control. That's it.
True.
Exactly.
President Biden calls it semi-fascism. And I agree with that, because that's exactly what it is, and it's nothing that we're not new to or not used to as Americans, because we're used to different parties using propaganda to be able to control the narrative, and that's what we've been going through for years, and so it's become the norm to us, or whatever. But I think the Pope, kind of, he saw through the bull. So kudos to the Pope. I like this Pope because he saw through the bull. And he knows that America hadn't been great ever. So I ain't even gonna say for a long time. America's never been great. So he's not coming out to support Magna and their semi-fascism, as the president calls it. And I think
that's right. That's right. And just to elaborate on that last point that you put, because I don't think we ever have here. We want to make it known, America has always been great. Okay. We go through our problems just like everybody else. We are not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But America, the United States of America, has always been great. That is why everybody wants to come here.
It's really amazing because, go ahead, Jerry. Go ahead.
I just want to just add to it. I forgot what I was going to say now. Go ahead, Mike.
Let's see if I remember what I was going to say. No, it's gone. It's gone. Horrible. It's gone.
I messed everybody up, man. I'm so sorry.
All right.
I'm so
Never
sorry.
mind.
Bad. All right, let's move on. If you happen to come to remember your thought, then you're coming in. All right. Mark Meadows. He's trying to move his case from the state level over to federal court. He's got a lot of nerve to do that, but play the tape.
Chicken. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go.
Tonight, a legal and political collision. The March 4th, 2024 trial date, when Trump will face criminal charges for his efforts to overturn the 2020 election, will take place the day before Super Tuesday, when voters in 14 states across the country cast ballots in primary elections. Judge Tanya Chutkan rejected Trump's request to start the trial in 2026, telling the former president's lawyers Mr. Trump will have to make this trial date work, regardless of his schedule. There are now 3 criminal trials crowding Trump's calendar next spring.
We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong.
And today, Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, appeared in court in Fulton County in an attempt to move his charges from state court to federal court. Meadows was present on a phone call between Trump and Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger.
Mr. President, everybody is on the line, and just so this is Mark Meadows, the chief of staff.
When the president asked for additional votes to overturn the election.
He just announced himself, too, didn't he? Like you knew you were committing a crime, and you just went ahead and said, hey, just so I know, it's Mark Meadows committing a crime over here.
Right. This is Mark Meadows, chief of staff. But now you don't want to. It's like, again, one of those, they want their cake and eat it too. So you announce your chief of staff. My assumption is you're announcing that for the respect value of it, so that everybody understands who's on this call alongside the president, his right-hand man. But then now you want to say, well, I shouldn't be brought up on charges, even though it was part of a RICO case or conspiracy. But I shouldn't be part of that because I was acting under the reign of chief of staff. But what chief of staff does that?
Yeah.
Trump's chief of staff, and Nixon's.
Yeah, well,
and he knew what he was doing was wrong. I mean, like you said, he announced himself so boldly and proudly, and he knew what he was doing was wrong. And now this whole trying to move the court over thing is because I got guys over there, So let's not be deceived. It's because they got guys over there. So next, I think there should be an investigation into those guys that they got over there, because he's kind of exposed them as their people,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm watching a comedy though. Like these guys are so dumb. I mean, they announce themselves, recorded conversations, emails, text messages, fake letters. Like they literally left a trail that even I could find. I mean, like this is not right.
They were all confident, 200% confident that this was going to happen. Yes. They were confident that Trump was going to stay in that White House and that all of this proof was going to go poof, but it was going to disappear. That is why they did what they did, because everyone thought that they were crazy at that time, right? Giuliani on national television, and everyone thought, how could he do that? What did he this? What? Because they were confident. Sidney Powell with her nonsense and her conspiracies, they were confident that that was going to work.
You said.
Can you imagine when they found out they lost? They were probably like, "Oh."
Well, what you said was exactly. Yes. What you said, Esteban, is exactly what was in my mind from when Ty used the word "proud." Okay, Mark Meadows was proud to introduce himself because it really highlights the level of depravity in this crime. You said it right. They thought they were going to win. This guy wanted everyone to know that he was involved in this crime. They don't maybe call it a crime, but they know that stealing an election is a crime. All of these guys and women were proud to be a part of what they thought was going to be some grand usurping of a broken democratic system to install the golden god Trump in an endless era of conservative Republican values. They wanted people to know who they were. They're proud of it. They're proud of it today. They're not upset. They're not ashamed what they did. They're ashamed they got caught, and they're trying to weasel their way out of it. And that's what he's doing, because in a case that was brought against him in Georgia, him trying to move it to a federal court, that's another thing you said, Ty. He's got people. He thinks he has people. I don't know that he does anymore, because any of the people that weren't charged yet, they're going to start looking for the door to go, I don't know. I never worked for him. I don't know who he was. I never spent any time with this guy. So
that's right. They don't want a
radioactive
or a warrant landing on their doorstep, do they?
Yep. If the bail bondsman got arrested, the secretary of the secretary of the secretary of the chief of staff does not want to get indicted. Right. Okay.
Right. And if you remember at that last moment in January, all those people that started asking for pardons, either secretly or publicly, right? Pardon. And then the question was, well, if you did nothing wrong, why are you asking for a pardon? But now all of the proof is made public, and the proof is they did do something wrong, and they knew that they did something wrong.
Yeah, they knew.
And if I'm a judge over there,
hilarious,
and he's saying, let's take it to his court, I'm like, nope, I don't want nothing to do with that,
right.
I mean, it's like anything connected to you guys is failing right now. I wouldn't want no voice of that.
On top of that, they also know that the evidence is strong, right? The evidence is very, very strong, and this is state court. So it's quite possible that no matter how many people that they have, if they're found liable and guilty, they could be spending a lot of time in a state penitentiary. And for a lot of them, they're already, in their 60s and 70s. And so that could be a death sentence to both of them. As well as, I believe I heard that the governor does not have, in Georgia's constitution, the governor does not have the ability to pardon these folks.
No, it's one of few states that's true, and they picked the wrong state to commit a crime in, and one where they can't even get a pardon.
And so their only hope of future freedom is by going federal, because there's too much information and evidence against them. And if they don't think that Trump is going to throw all of them under the bus, yes, he will.
Well, we started the show with the reason that Mark Meadows is trying to move it. They're trying to get out of jurisdiction and all that, and you said it's not going to work. Well, why do you think we started the show with the Georgia Republicans trying to get rid of Fanni Willis? Because they are trying to do whatever they can, illegal, scumbacious, slightly legal, whatever they can do, because they're not getting out of this. They are not going to weasel their way out of this.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Let's move on to one of the other co-defendants, this gentleman right here, Mr. Harrison Floyd. He's one of the 19 co-defendants who's been indicted on RICO charges in Georgia, Fulton County. His role, I believe, had to deal with I was going to say Fannie Mae, with Ruby Friedman and her daughter, Miss Moss, of trying to get them to either turn against others or to admit to some type of wrongdoing that they did not do. And it's just quite interesting. Do we have a clip for him?
Of course.
County jail shortly before lunchtime. He declined to answer questions. About 2 hours later, he announced he might run for Congress in Georgia, but again, took no questions. Floyd had shown up at the Fulton County Jail Thursday, just a few hours before former President Donald Trump. And while Trump entered, took a booking photo, and exited very quickly, Floyd stayed locked up for 6 nights. Last week, when a judge denied him bond, she cited his charge pending in Maryland, simple assault on a federal officer.
Based on the open charge against you, there are grounds for bond to be denied at this point.
Floyd is charged with intimidating a Fulton County election worker, trying to get her to admit she'd rigged Fulton's vote count. In fact, authorities found nobody rigged the vote count.
Right. Okay. So the first thing I want to point out is that this is the only Black man of the 19 defendants that were indicted. However, the only man or person who stayed in jail for 6 days and was unable to post bail. Did you guys notice that none of his 18 other co-defendants helped him whatsoever, especially the ringleader who is grifting all of this money? Help me, help me. I got arrested. Help me, help me. And did not even help this dude give him some money to be able to get a lawyer to at least represent him for the arraignment. We're not even talking about the trial, an arraignment. Yep. And because of that, he spent 6 days in jail. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, and apparently get arrested, and the next get arrested, run for Congress, of course.
That's the prerequisite on the Republican side.
Logic.
Yeah.
That's the next best thing, right?
They're going to replace their government
jail. I got out of jail for trying to overturn the election, and his next thought is run for government. Are you crazy? It doesn't even make sense.
Go ahead, Mike. You were going to say something.
I was going to say they're going to replace government IDs with mugshots. Like, I don't understand. They're who ignores the charges against them and has the audacity to talk about running for Congress. Like, look, I've never been brought up on RICO charges, so I don't know how I would react, but I like to think that I would kind of keep it focused to the case and trying to plead why I was innocent. I don't know, or maybe blame someone like Trump. But like, no, he's like, I'm going to run for Congress. Like, this is a stepping stone, or this is a prerequisite. I mean, Trump's doing the $100,000 a plate thing for a fundraiser for Giuliani, and when it comes back around, Trump's going to say he doesn't know this guy. He never met him. I don't know who this guy was. Why is he one of my co-defendants? I've never spoken to him.
He already did. He already said publicly that some of those co-defendants I don't even know.
He doesn't understand.
We've heard that story before, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Trump knows everybody until he doesn't know anybody.
Exactly.
Now, to give you an answer on why he said that, I'm not sure if you guys are aware. The DA called him and tried to talk some sense into him. Okay, my opinion would be, as the only Black person of the group, dude, you're out of line here. You look out of line, and you're definitely financially out of line. You shouldn't be here. Why are you here? But with his response to, I think I'm going to run for Congress, that just said it all as to why he's there and why he deserves to be there, held criminally charged. Now, she tried to give him some words of wisdom, and his response to that was, I think I'm going to run for Congress. And that's why he said that, because of the phone call that she placed to him. Absolutely ridiculous and shameful. But again, proves his place belongs there. locked up for 6 days without any bail.
Yes.
What do you have to say, Ty?
I just wanted to discuss a little bit of more in depth, because the judge, when she offered him, when she did finally set bond for him, and he said that he didn't have the money to afford an attorney and all of this stuff. Well, she came back and told him, his only options were to represent himself or to hire an attorney, and we all know that there's always a third option, or generally when you can't afford an attorney, there's a third option, which is a court-appointed attorney, but you have to qualify for that. So he has money. So let's not let's not think that this guy doesn't have the money. He's using this too as a ploy. He's trying to control the narrative. Oh, I'm the broke black guy on the thing. So we'll look, so people will feel sorry for him. So let's not feel sorry for this guy, because this guy got money, because he made a statement. I just don't want to put my family in any kind of financial crisis. You have money, dude. Let's not think that he don't have the money. He has the money. He could bond himself out. He chose to sit there to get that pity party thing going, and it
Point well taken. Point well taken. All right. Okay. All right. Well, all of them deserve what they get. All 19 of them, especially Trump, all of them deserve what they get. I do hope that they turn on him, or at least some of them. But they all deserve what they get. Okay. Moving on to our last topic of the day. We're going to move on to the Hawaii update. I'm in Hawaii. We'll talk about Britney's situation in the next episode of the Weekend Review. Okay, what do we have? What updates do we have in regards to Hawaii? We know that President Biden has come down, and he has shared with the Hawaiian people some empathetic words, or I should say some words of empathy and sympathy for the dead ones here. We also know that he is going to be sending in aid to help the electric company here to be able to do what they need to do in regards to their systems, and in view of the land that has been decimated and damaged. Do we have a video clip?
Actually, the only video clip I have is from the hurricane that hit in Florida. I don't have a clip for Hawaii, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, that's okay, because I'm here, and I will provide a lot of different video clips of what's going on here in Hawaii throughout the week. So stay tuned for that. But what I can say is that the Hawaiian people are very resilient, very strong, and very, very optimistic and positive minded. I mean, to the point, if I can say my own opinion, it's a little sickening.
That's because you're from New York. Being too nice and happy just makes you uncomfortable. I trust me, I know.
Makes you sick to your stomach.
Makes me sick to my stomach. But and I'm just joking with that. But it's a great thing to see the people they're banding together. They're helping one another. Things are expensive out here. Things are very, very expensive, but everyone is banding together, helping one another. No one is I mean, everyone is complaining, but no one is complaining. At the end of the day, everyone is just doing what needs to be done to get into the next day. And I'm happy to be here. I'm loving the Hawaiian people. I'm so unhappy that this has happened to them. But I'm grateful to see how they're handling it, and very encouraged by it. We on the mainland can take one or two things from them when we're going through hardships, because we're going through hardships all the time, right? With hurricanes and tornadoes and bad weather and all that, and toilets and water pressure.
I know. Yeah, we're so concerned about our water pressure in this country.
But the people here are strong. They're tough. and they are optimistic that they will get over this. Of course, we should definitely continue to pray for the ones that lost, the innocent ones that lost their lives in this wildfire, because there are a lot of them. And I will also add that there are a lot of conspiracies going on right now on the internet in regards to how this fire started, why this fire started, and who should be blamed for it. Please don't listen to none of these conspiratorial lies. Get your news and your facts straight from the horse's mouth, from a reliable and credible news source. And you know which news sources those are not. I'll just say it that way.
I was going to say, speaking of the horse's mouth, you sure it wasn't space lasers?
It could have been space lasers.
That is one of the conspiratorial stories that's going around. Yeah.
Because that definitely came from the horse's mouth.
Look, there's a political party that is allowing them to be pushed in hopes that it will destabilize any goodwill that the Biden administration is offering. Look, as president, he did exactly what you're supposed to do. He offered aid provided by taxpayer dollars allocated for natural disasters. That's how this country's supposed to work. Okay. And you have a political party saying, wow, he's done nothing. Trump, if he was there, he would get there and he would talk to people, and what? He would throw paper towels at them like he did in Puerto Rico?
Right, exactly.
No. Right. Can we put aside the chances, the small little, tiny little moments that you could scrape to be a political scumbag, and make everything about who should be voted for and who's an enemy, and just for once be like, man, thanks for helping out a state. Nope, can't do it, because there's no graciousness in these people that are using it for political opportunism and using it to push conspiracy theories to get clicks on their websites. This is just another example of not allowing people to do goodwill and just stop it at that. That's the end of it.
That's right. This also reminded me of a tweet that I sent out earlier this week in regards to President Biden, because everyone is, putting him down for what he did or did not do in regards to Maui, Hawaii. But now with Hurricane Idalia, he was there. He was on point. He offered millions of dollars of aid that DeSantis turned down, right? But regardless, he said, well, I'm going to then go around you and I'm going to administer aid to those who are going to take it, those agencies or programs or private corporations that need the help. I'm going to offer it to them. So I tweeted out.
He refused it.
Yeah. So I had tweeted, shouldn't we, since Republicans want Biden to be more like Trump or wish Biden was Trump, doesn't that mean Biden should be telling DeSantis to go hug a landmine? You didn't vote for me and needed the Floridians. I have nothing for you. Shouldn't he be telling them? Because the Republicans wish it was Trump there, not Biden. But if it was Trump, that's exactly what he would be doing, right? Not to Florida because they like him, but like you said, Puerto Rico, here's a paper towel. Go handle your hurricane with that.
Yeah, go suck up some water with some paper towels this way.
It's just, man, Ron DeSantis is bad at this whole trying to run for president thing. To your point, Esteban, he's almost cutting his nose off to spite his face. He could look like a hero being, look, spin it, lie about it. Say, I went to Joe Biden and I demanded you give us money. Okay, fine, lie about it. Take the money. But what do you think? Either you think the money's not going to get to the people who need it and you don't care, which is what it is, or you could allow President Biden to outmaneuver you and get the money into the hands, like you said, of the agencies that DeSantis would have had to disseminate it to anyway, right? A state doesn't do everything by itself with its own infrastructure. They would need to reach out to other organizations. So the money's going to go to them anyway. And now every time a dollar goes to someone who needs it, it's going to have Joe Biden's face on it. Not Ron DeSantis's, not Donald Trump's. So he screwed that up too.
And like you said, for somebody who's running for president, how is that going to help him? How is that effective? Right? It's really bad. It's bad. Okay. Last comments, gentlemen.
Go
ahead, Ty.
We have a better week.
Yeah,
I
right.
hope I have a better week.
You're gonna have a great week, asshole. You didn't even invite any of us. I don't see how it is. I'm in Pennsylvania. You're in Hawaii. That's a huge difference.
I just want
Send
to
me some pictures of some hula girls, please.
Go ahead,
Ty. I'm sorry. I'll stop talking.
I just want to congratulate Nia and Deion Sanders for his win today, because the naysayers say he couldn't do it in Colorado. Won today. His son threw for over 500 yards, which was amazing.
That's amazing.
But you know, he's
okay. We'll give you a thing on that. Congratulations, Deion Sanders, his son.
Yes,
500 yards. That's insane.
That's insane. Yeah,
it is, man. And I mean,
All
and
right.
TCU played a great game. I'm from Texas, so I love TCU as well. TCU played a great game, but Deion showed that, you know, he has what it takes to put together a championship-worthy team. And I think I want to be one of the first to go on the line and say that they are a championship-worthy team. They are.
All right.
Those boys are really good.
All right. Well, good luck to them. Good luck to your team. You know, many others are around the nation. We're not really too much in too many things Texas related, but you know, you are our boy, and so we will be happy for you because you're happy for them.
Yes, sir.
But as long as you know, as soon as you lay off of them, we don't want nothing to do with them anymore.
Hey,
All
I'll
right.
take it. I'll take it.
Thank you, guys. Have a great week. We will be
Thank
back
you.
together this week for some of our sound offs, and as I mentioned, I will be sharing different clips and different parts of the Hawaiian state and the Hawaiian people with everybody this week. My thanks to my co-host Jeremy, my co-producer Mike, and my commentator Ty. For your excellent commentation as usual. I also want to give thanks to MSNBC, NBC News Now, Midas Touch Network, Time, The Project, CBS, TMZ, and ABC for allowing us to use the footage that we used to help get the point across to you guys, our audience, of what's going on within our country. As mentioned, I am here in Hawaii, having a great time and enjoying the weather and talking to my American brothers and sisters here on the island. I hope everybody has a great week. Once again, please share the live. Sharing is caring. You can place follows and likes as well. Leave any comments or questions that you would have. We will read those comments on air and respond back to you on them as well. If you have a goal that you've achieved or accomplished today, forget to say to yourself,